Hey everyone, this is the dude from the Dinosaur and the Dude, kicking off a new episode uh, for all of you to enjoy. And that's the big thing that we are striving for in every episode that we bring. It's just the dinosaur and I going just off the top of the dome. Guys, we flow from topic to topic, just depending on however it is, things are going on in our life, where we're talking about everything about elderly people and dealing with different things that are going on with families, us personally, and then how we view certain things in the world. At no point do we try to demean, degrade, or diminish anyone out there. So if it comes off that way, that's not the intent. It's just really one of those things where we're talking about it as freely as possible. We hope everybody enjoys it. We hope everybody's having a great time. And we hope that our listenership, I think that's the right word, continues to grow as we bring as best content as we can. So here's our latest episode. Hope you all enjoy. Thanks. Everyone, this is the dude from the Dinosaur and the Dude podcast. Want to tell you about our new sponsor, Bobby Rapscallion. They are a lifestyle brand that has a sweet CBD line also. It's high potency premium CBD, broad spectrum, so you don't have to worry about the THC showing up in your piss test. And that's ideal for professionals and people that have these random tests at work. So give it a go. Check it out. You can find them at bobbyrapscallion.com. That's bobbyrapscallion.com. Go there now. Check them out. They've got discounts going on. Let them know we sent you, and you'll probably get a discount too. All right.
Hey, hey,
Hey,
what's going on?
not much. I'm waiting for you to disconnect or something. It's very
What?
rare to get it on the second
I
shot.
I know. I thought I was gonna lose my shit on the first one. I thought that I was connected, and then I saw that you disconnected, and I was like, no.
Well, by that time, I was wondering, did I send it? Because it wasn't showing in the email that it was sent. So it's like, fuck, did I not send it? But then I was like, okay, let me send it again. And then it disconnected me. I was like, fuck, okay. And of course, yeah, disconnected, and it shows you left. Yeah, well, technically, yeah, I did leave, but no, not by choice.
Okay, well, so hi, how are you?
Doing all right. You?
Good,
Good. I hope
good.
everyone else is doing all right out there. We took a little bit of a break, but now that we're back, we've got all kinds of, well, I'm being presumptuous, but I would imagine we have all kinds of things to talk about, especially in relation to especially relating to our part three, which is relationships, part three, relationships, which is about relationships.
Yeah, I got
Uh,
to be sure not to fuck this one up because the new year is coming in just a few days, and I want to be able to say that I am going to have a kiss on New Year's. But if I fuck this up, then there could be a
oh,
chance that that's not happening.
oh, see, yeah, I don't even have that. I don't have that.
Burden.
Yeah, okay. I was trying to figure out the word for it. I was going to say prerequisite. I was going to say prerequisite. No, this sounds too clinical. And then I was going to say, you know,
Like that comes with
uh,
an exam of some sort.
yeah, right, right. Please come without clothes on. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have that like you, but yeah, I guess so. I guess choking. Hold on. I guess whatever
Don't do
we
it.
say.
I can't do this without you.
Yeah, right. Uh, I'm literally after the and. Uh, so let's just dive as deeply and as hard and as cautiously as we can into this. I think
Okay,
that
before we do introduce the show.
okay, we did. Oh
Yeah, we
wait,
did.
no, not fully. Yes,
Mm-mm.
right. Because you would know you're the dinosaur.
That's me.
I'm the dude,
Yep.
and the Dinosaur and the Dude podcast. where we had, and give it time, it might happen.
It'll probably happen again.
It's the shittiest audio
Seriously.
podcast you could have, but with the most amazing content.
Yeah.
So
welcome along this train wreck.
that's what we're planning on doing
Come aboard.
in this episode, which is part 3 of our series in regards to relationships. And I think this came about back in, I think, episode 10, where relationships came up, and we were just like, oh yeah, we definitely have to talk about relationships. So we've been staying true to that. And here we are, part 3. We pretty much realized from the beginning that it was either going to be 2 mega parts or 4 solid 1-hour parts. And so we stuck with, we're on part 3. So we're sticking with the 1 hour piece, just totally focused on that one thing.
Segment.
So this part is relationships, and then part 3 of relationships is about relationships, and that is with parentheses around it saying romantic relationships. Is that
yes?
We can pretty much narrow it down to that. It's like romantic relationships, and I guess we're going to get into the definition of that. It's like, okay, this is who I've been with. This is who
Which would also probably include like hookups and polyamorous stuff as well.
Right. Yeah. The definition of relationship is definitely going to be explored. And then also why we were so excited, and still are, why I was super excited about talking about this, is we're coming out of 2 major points in the year that are highly likely for people to have or not have someone they're in a relationship with. And
what is that called? Don't say cuckolding, because it's not.
No, it's it's not that.
Yeah. I mean, not far off, but
I don't have a scientific thing for it. I just call it holiday hoes, holiday hookups, holiday. The people that you have solely because you don't want to be viewed by others as single.
Okay, so
and in your head, you have some sort of thing that you have to be. You would be lame if you weren't in a relationship for certain holidays. So some people,
or at least had something worked out ahead of time.
Yeah, like somebody you've invited over, and so some
beard.
Yeah, so somebody. Yeah. If you're trying to break the ice to your family and you haven't figured out the ovaries yet to do it, you might invite a beard. You might invite a beard over just to throw the scent off a little.
Yeah.
Come out.
You know what? Bring a homeless guy and act like you're really into him. They'll just shut the fuck up. They won't ask you any more questions.
What's the female version of a beard? Like, okay, if you're a chick and you don't want your family to know that you're a lesbian, you bring a beard. But if you're a dude and you don't want anyone
cuffing season, that's what it is.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, so there's a podcast that I listen to. It's called Dope Labs. It is absolutely amazing. It's about 2 ladies.
Fucking cross promote. You explain yourself. What did you, first off, what did you say?
Cuffing. Cuffing.
Like police?
No, like cuffing, like you're cuffed together for the holiday season.
Okay. Like the police, but
sort of
in a jolly way. Okay.
Right. Exactly.
The police, but in a village people's way. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's called cuffing?
Yeah, they call it the cuffing season.
What the fuck? So
I believe if I was remembering correctly from this episode, which is totally worth listening to, they have an episode called Cuffing Season, and they talk about
we're ripping off of them.
What's that?
Now it's going to seem like we're ripping off of them.
No, not at all. Not at all. These people are amazing, and you need to go and listen
full
to
disclosure, I've never heard of it, so I've
really?
got lost. No. Continue though. Cuffing season is from when to when.
Great. I
From when to
believe
when?
it's from like Thanksgiving to Valentine's.
Okay, that's what I was wondering because I know. So like those are the majors, right?
Yep.
You've got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Valentine's Day, and then after that it's kind of like fuck off. I mean, who?
It's hot girl
Nobody.
summer. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, nobody's. Yeah, well, nobody's inviting anybody for Easter, right? Like Easter is the preparing for hot girl summer, right? You dump whoever you're with so you can have that summer.
Right after church service. That's what
Yeah,
you
yeah,
do.
right after communion.
Yep.
Okay, but wait, before I forget. So, if you're a guy, yeah, I went all the way back. If you're a guy and you're trying to throw your family off that you're gay, what is it called? For chicks, it's called a beard. What's it called for
So
a
I just
guy?
looked this up and somebody referred to it as a beaver. But
Okay.
that's far too obvious.
Yeah, I mean, all I did was just visualize somebody coming either naked or completely without panties, a la Sharon Stone. I thought it would be something out, visibly noticeable, like a beard on a guy. You would, bring I don't fucking know, bring a halter top. I don't know what you would call it. I wouldn't have
Well,
called it beef. So.
Wikipedia says that a beard is an American slang term
Yeah,
describing a person who is used knowingly or unknowingly as a date, romantic partner, boyfriend, or girlfriend.
Okay. Okay, well, cool.
So now that that's cleared up,
yeah. Now that we have the terminology set that we'll be using, let's get deeper into it. So, let's just, as we normally do, grill each other. I'll start with you because I always want to make sure you get your shine.
Such a gentleman.
Yeah, well,
you're like, mine's not going to take long. Never does.
Yeah, fuck off. Yeah, I was gonna say you got time. So, have you ever participated in the cuffing season?
Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, whoa,
That pregnant pause is like, I don't really know what the fuck's coming out of it now. Okay, yeah. Have you participated in the cuffing season?
No. I've kind of just done my own thing.
Oh, wow. That was way fucking shorter than I expected. Okay. Now I guess it's now like or else that's some like weird chess move. You're like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna flip it back on you, sir.
No, but well, I mean, I didn't spend a long time of my adult life like dating around.
Okay, yeah.
So when I wasn't with somebody, I didn't want to be with anybody.
Right. I think it's pretty calculating though, right?
Yeah. You have to schedule things. There's a holiday season is busy.
Yeah, right. I mean, okay. So I'm assuming it's your turn now, so you're gonna ask me the same question.
Yeah.
Not unless you're gonna
ever, knowingly or unknowingly, have you ever been in cuffing season?
See, okay, I didn't hit you with the subconscious thing, but no, unknowingly, no. Knowingly, no.
Also, no.
Right.
We are so good at this. Jesus.
Like it just so happened to be that I was in a relationship at that time. It wasn't that I started one so that I could have one. Because I think the thing that there's some prep to the cuffing season, if you will. Like you have to start the relationship pretty much, I don't know, at a Halloween party.
But it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be romantic in any way. It can just be an agreement between two people. Look, I know you're single, I'm single, we want to stay this way.
Okay, so that goes back to holiday hoe. Okay.
So exactly. So then you would say, like if we were gonna decide that we're gonna cuff together for the season so we're protected and everybody will leave us alone, then I would say, okay, I want Christmas Day,
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, 4 dinners,
Yeah.
and at least 2 of those with my family.
It sounds like people.
You have to barter.
It
and,
sounds
go
like
back and
people. No. It doesn't even sound like bartering. It sounds like people. Well, I guess that is bartering. It's no. It's not. This is negotiation. It sounds like people. It sounds like people scheduling when they're going to have the kid, but their
Well,
kid is
sometimes conversations like that come up.
no, their kid is the relationship. Okay, I want you to be at my parents' house for Christmas, and I want you to be. And I was like, okay, no. So yeah, that right there, that
And I've got a
explanation,
holiday party for work and a happy hour.
right? So that explanation right there is why I guess why I've never done it, because I really never. And this is going to come as a surprise for people that are first time listeners. Anybody that have endured 2 fucking episodes prior to this will know. Oh yeah, not surprised by this at all. What he's about to say, not surprised. I've just never been into a person that much to where I want to plan out shit like that.
Really?
Does that make sense?
You could have fun with it.
Huh?
You could have fun with it.
No, absolutely. I would have fun. I think I always just thought I was going to be somewhere that I'm either, and by being into somebody, I mean, I never scheduled stuff like that solely for not having the appearance of being single during a holiday.
Right.
I was
I haven't either.
I was already in a relationship with someone, so I never really cared about someone enough to say, okay, before I come into their house or before I go over and stay for the holidays at their place, I want to make sure I have someone that's coming with me. And
because God forbid you be alone.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I don't understand what the big deal is about it, but then again, that's not my crux. I've got my own things.
I mean, it's romanticized. I mean, you got the Bruce Wayne syndrome out there for sure, and everybody wants to do that. But there's a thing with that. First off, you got to be a billionaire. Secondly,
if I was a billionaire, I would get on my yacht and sail away, and so I wouldn't have to be around anybody.
You'd have a slew of whatever you desired on that yacht, or your choice of the person that you want to. I almost had an entendre there, so I'm going to skip it. The person that you want to have on that yacht. Having not achieved the billionaire part, I guess I never really thought about it, but I don't think that. I don't think that that's the case, because I know of a lot of people that do it, or I've known of several people that do it. I just never have. I honestly, in the reverse, I never wanted to, unless we were serious. I just didn't introduce people that I was interested in to my family.
That's fair.
I just never brought them around. Like, look, you're either going to want to be with me or not, and I don't want any extra characters fucking with your decision on that.
Just no drama. Either do it or don't. And if you do it, great, do it. And if you don't, then don't fuck around. Yeah,
because with my family, it can be not pretty real the fuck quick.
Right.
And
which is why that one girl was, the one lady was talking to you at Christmas.
Oh, shit.
Or was it Thanksgiving?
I don't fucking know. This is your story about me. Please proceed.
No, you were sitting next to somebody and they were talking about a website and stuff like that.
Wait.
It was a date of someone at a family function.
We were both there?
No, you and I were not both there. This is just recently. This is just you.
Oh, and you told me.
No,
I mean,
you
I told
told,
you about it.
yeah,
I
you
told you
told me.
about it.
Right.
Hold on. Oh, yeah.
Light bulb.
No. Okay, so no,
Yeah. No.
that got twisted. Because that was
You're
somebody.
twisted.
That's someone. Well, true. That's someone else's. That's someone else's girlfriend.
Not yours.
Yeah, it's just she and I were in a deep conversation in relation to that. And honestly, that's me just trying to figure out. Okay, is she how down is she? Is she just really, is she intellectually able to carry on the conversation, or is she just out here wanting to be seen?
That's
And
fair.
that's just being honest. It's like, okay, look, you're walking into a train wreck, or oh, okay, she's a cool person. That's the thing, because that's the other thing. I hate it when people tell me after the relationship, man, I knew y'all were no good for each other.
Right?
Why the fuck didn't you say something?
Look, I'm not saying you have to tell me to my face because that would be offensive, but put it in the fucking suggestion box anonymously. Go on.
No, tell me to my face. If you know something that is like, hey, yo, I don't know if she still is, but
Shit.
last week she was a meth addict. I don't know if she still is, but that's what I know for right. Tell me that shit. Don't let me go, 3 years into a relationship and then you're like, man, I knew she was on meth. Fuck you. Don't come around with this caution sign after the fact. It's like you literally sat back with popcorn and just watched me burn down.
Well, sometimes, never mind.
Yeah, well, I know some people enjoy that, but those aren't the people that makes you then look at the relationship with the people that you have close to you if they're doing that in some fashion. But anyway, aside from holidays, we've had our share of relationships, and that can be troublesome. It can be great. It can suck. It can be all kinds of things, and it can go really bad. And
I have an amazing idea.
What's that?
Oh my God, this is great. You know those lists of questions that you find out on the internet? It's like 10 questions that you should ask your blah, 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 or 10 questions to get to know blah, 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 or like relationship things, like, have you ever done this? And like, it would get a lot. It would be hilarious. Our stories would be hilarious.
We get like a survey for people.
Yes.
Yeah, we can come up with that. So we can come up with that. We'll.
Oh, part 4.
No, part 4 was. Part 4 was when they go crazy and they get really bad.
Parkour or part 4?
Part 4.
Parkour.
Part 4.
Parkour.
Okay, fine. So let's start. Like, there's no way to make this sound any better. You know what I'm into. And you literally helped me come up with my own
right.
list
You are our very own niche. Your very own.
But there was a time I needed to know.
They got to put another color on the spectrum.
Yeah, right. We don't even know what this color is.
It's an ampersand. I don't understand.
Is this a color? It looks like a letter. It looks like a symbol. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what happened to Prince. I said,
oh my God. Okay, go ahead, please.
So, but you helped me one time come up with a list of things that I really would like for the person that I'm in a relationship with. I stuck to that list for a good bit, and some people find it comical and strange that I had that list. But I think everybody has it. I think it just seems kind of crazy when you write it out.
Yeah,
think,
it's okay to have it, but I wouldn't say make like a vision board of your,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
No,
wall on your in your house
no, fuck that. That's what I
with all
did.
the strings like
Fuck
tied
that.
to.
That's what I did. I had it on. I had a list. I posted it online. I said, "Here's my list. I thank
If
you
you
for
check
it."
all of these boxes,
Yeah,
contact me because
yeah.
I'm sick
I
of
yeah.
looking.
You remember this shit?
Yeah,
So and it was like I was gracious enough to be like, okay, you don't have to hit all of these,
majority.
but you got to get a majority.
Hmm.
And one of them was red hair, and it was like, okay, well, what if they can't get red hair? I mean, what if they don't have red hair? I was like, okay,
Is the
hopefully they
dye
get.
job, is that okay? Or
I was like, hopefully, it's like you were asking me about it. What if they don't have red hair? I was like, hopefully they have 5 other ones. So like for some reason in my head at that during that night, like red hair was worth 5. You have to have 5 other ones in order to compensate for not having red hair. It was
right.
bizarre.
It's a bartering, negotiating.
No, I did, but I challenge other people to actually come up with a list and see. Well,
Come up
because
with a list.
I think it's reflective. I think it's sort
Won't
of like,
kill me.
yeah, I think it's kind of reflective because you're just sort of like, these are the things that whatever you write on that list are going to be the things that you are really into. And then it's going to make you wonder, like, how much of that do you compromise or you not compromise? Compromise.
Yeah.
That do you compromise in order to be with this other person? Like, and so it was interesting how, like, yeah, man, this is the stuff. This is what yeah, you got to. And I was like, you got to believe in this. I don't care about I'm not religious. So you can be religious. Don't take me to your church. But you got to believe in aliens.
One
And
motherfucker lay hands on me, we gonna have some problems.
yeah, you got to believe in aliens and time travel, all this kind of shit. And I was like, okay. And this is as an adult. This isn't like we were doing this at all at 13.
Right. We're in kindergarten or,
Yeah,
fourth grade, and we're like, he's gonna be a millionaire.
yeah. I'm on a red race car with a flag on the back.
Right.
No,
It's gonna have a
no,
strap on it.
no. This is adult shit. So let's
Okay.
talk about the list. Like, how much of that have I actually hit? Very little.
Definitely not a majority because the scenery would look a little different.
Very little. Well, I mean, like, some of the things were there, but I don't know. I got to the point where I started realizing that I wanted that person to be an individual, not something that was made to fit my requirements.
There you go.
So that's why I encourage people to make a list. That way you can see what you compromise on.
That's called maturity, though, I think.
Yeah, maybe the list helps that
Because you're
person.
like, whenever you're smaller, you're like, he needs to have brown hair and green eyes
Yeah,
and
right.
blah blah blah, whatever. And now you're just like, does he have eyes? Both of them? Okay, we're good.
Right, you're right. Like, you're like, he needs to look like Terrence Howard, and then you're like, fuck it, RuPaul. You're just sort of like, okay, I'm just gonna wing it.
So do you think that you would be okay with this surprise factor if you were with somebody and then they said, you know what, I have something to tell you. I'm trans and I want to start living that life.
Yeah. Do I think I would be? Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know that I would. It's hard for me to kind of visualize that because
Wait.
I have to see it. I can't just envision it.
Time. Because we're saying a lot of words, and I'm trying to digest the fuck what you said. Okay. So let me repeat back what you said to make sure I didn't pass out midway. You were asking me if I would be okay with the surprise. And immediately I thought, they got a dick.
No, they don't have a dick.
No,
They want to have one.
being transparent. Okay. And so I reserved that. I reserved saying that because you then elaborated more that I'm with someone and then they say, hey, I want to transition and I want to be male. And you're asking me if I would be okay with that. And then midway in asking me, you reflected to yourself saying, yeah, no, but. And I'm still stuck with the,
Well, I wanted to give you a little time to let that settle in.
yeah, no. I think it's settling. I think it's coming.
like a rock.
No, I mean, man, having not been in that situation, I have the luxury of answering something without experiencing it. And a lot of times people say, but
Excuse me.
when they're in that situation, it's a whole nother story. I'm gonna answer with the best I can with what I think I would do. I would want that person to be who they feel they need to be. And that's not being PC, that's not being woke, that's not being any of the buzzwords that's out there or the cool things to help us along in the podcast to get those 18 people that are missing. Come on, 18
Come on now.
fucking people. So
if y'all could just accidentally hit this thing and listen to it, that'd be great.
18 motherfuckers can actually listen and get us over the top. That'd be great. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Okay, back to the answer.
Tell a friend.
Yeah, right. Go get me, Mom, and put it on and fuck running. Who cares?
Go turn it down.
Go to the bridge game and say, "Oh, let me put this nice little app, this little Scrabble app."
Oh,
yeah. Okay, and really put us on, play us, and just do that.
That's fine. We're okay with that.
Okay. Now, I'm assuming that you all have done that. So now I will continue.
Right.
Yeah, I can't be in the way of that. I really can't. And
no, neither could I, but could I?
I
don't know.
It's something that I would have to, as hard as it would be to digest and realize that this is how our relationship is evolving. I'd have to, let them know that they would have to be who they want to be. And if they're wanting to be they're wanting to transition from one thing or whatever, one to the other. If they're wanting to be female and they want to be male, or male and female, whatever. That's their choice. I can't get in the way of that, despite of how it fits in my head in regards to a relationship. As far as the deeper question, like, do we stay together?
Yeah.
I honestly can't see that because I feel like I don't know what the definition of that is. And I feel like I would probably be disrespecting that choice that they're making.
I think I would be so confused.
Mm,
I'm a literal person.
yeah,
I mean,
the thing that I would have to do in order to maintain the conversation the way it is, or the way it should be, is to take myself out of it. Them wanting to, it's really not something that has to do with me, but them. So I can't really say, are you wanting to transition because it's something about me? No, it has nothing to do with it's all them. So that then also comes into place of, our relationship has to be looked at as well. How we interact with each other. I'm not saying I'm going to X you out of my life, but our interaction will change in some
Right. It may not
capacity.
end, but it's probably going to change
Yeah,
some.
in some capacity. In some capacity, people could say, "Oh, what a fucking asshole." In some capacity, everyone's relationship with someone changes when they transition. That's just how it is.
Well, it is a change. I mean, it's one of the
Well,
biggest changes that you can make in your life.
well, I mean, not in the regards of the transition part. I'm just saying. Like there's one person in particular that I know of that transitioned, and I know for a fact our relationship has changed.
Why do you think that is?
It's, again, I take myself out of it. It's not to do with me. It's to do with their decision and and how it works best for their health, physically and mentally, during and after the transition. I was so I think I had blinders on in the beginning because they were just putting their pinky on the transition thing. They just they hadn't fully said, okay, I'm going to transition. I'm going to. They didn't really come around to stating that, but
So they may have been going through the motions, but they weren't leaning into it.
Yeah, they would dress a certain. They would dress a certain way, and so it's easy to go, oh, it's a little punk rock, or it's a little this, or you just shock therapy, whatever. But then once I realized, oh, no, they're transitioning, okay, and this is what works best for them. You're basically, like a friend of mine used to say,
Gotta be hard.
Like a friend of mine used to say, if you want a tattoo, get it drawn out and walk around with it in your pocket for a while, for at least a year, and look at it. Make sure you really like this, drawing. Look at it every day and make sure you really like it before you get it on your body. I think that was kind of sort of what they were going through with it.
Oh, sure. That makes perfect sense.
And only certain people knew. And then once they got to the point, it's like, okay, I'm gonna start doing hormones. Okay, I'm gonna start doing this. Okay, I'm gonna really start doing things that's going to put me solidly on the track of transitioning. Then it became abundantly clear. But that's also when they dropped off. And we would message each other and chat and whatnot, but very seldom did we hang out anymore. And again, it goes back to the previous episode when we were talking about friends by we're friends by relationship, by what, not relationship, common interest.
Okay.
And so because of our common interest, we were around each other more frequently, but then after transitioning, it just sort of dropped.
Yeah.
Like totally didn't come around to that thing that we were always into. Totally stopped talking to the people that also were a part of it. And it was just sort of like you only existed on Facebook or on Twitter.
Right. And if you happen to see them at one of the things.
Well, no, not even that. Like,
really?
That was gone. And it was sort of like you would just see pictures online of them at a house party or whatnot. And it's like, okay, well, they're doing well. They would talk about the depression or talk about the overload of emotions with the hormones. But
you want to talk about hormones? That's one of my favorite things these days.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying that's what they would talk about, but it was like my interaction with them was very, very minimal. So
sure,
that was a very, very long-winded thing. But no, it's a great question. It's a great.
I don't know what I would do. I feel like I would personally, I feel like I would probably end up offending that person because my memory is so bad that I would just forget. You know, and I would probably get pronouns wrong and all sorts of stuff. I would be terrible at it. They would be like, "Damn it!" I'd be like, "I'm sorry. I
That's
don't know."
interesting. That's interesting because you are. I don't know. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you're one of the few people that I know of that doesn't really fall into heavy pronoun shit.
No, I mean, I identify as a dinosaur, so
and so for me, it's like
not actually in real life, but
no, fuck it. This is real life. Fuck it.
I mean, what?
Right. Yeah, I think that like the pronoun thing, I guess that again is self identity. Is self identity. You are identifying yourself. So I really don't get fucking twisted by it because it's like, okay, I identify. As a matter of fact, I don't even identify. Like I don't even. So pronouns to me are like fads and fashion and things that people, everybody wants to, everybody's punk rock and they want to be against culture and they want to, but then punk rock becomes a culture. And then you realize that everybody's got a mohawk and then everybody's wearing leather and everybody's just wearing the same shit. And then you're sort of in this lump category of punk rock. And then you got people like, I don't want you to label me as punk rock. I'm this. That sounds cool. And then for me, it's people say I'm an individual. I'm they. I'm a they. They, them. Okay, cool. So is this person. 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 So you're now out of one category and now you're into another category. So I don't know why people rail against categories. I don't want to be a him. I don't want to be a her. But then they put themselves in another category. But for the fact that they put themselves in that category, they feel better about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I think a lot of that has to do with a sense of belonging and not having that for so long.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But
like
then
I put myself into the alphabet mafia because I tried for so long to be straight and I couldn't do it.
Sure. But so then the other side of that is, okay, what happens when you get tired of being they, them, or
Well, I mean,
he, her,
then you
or
would probably transition into being fluid.
he, him. Right. Okay. Now you're fluid. What happens when you're tired of being categorized fluid? That's my thing. Is like, huh?
And I say, you got me.
Well, but that's the thing. It's like it's all a category. You're just happy about the house you built, but it's still a house. You're still in a category. So if the goal is to not be categorized and be yourself and be seen for who you are, then don't fall into that shit. Period.
That's fair. Just don't categorize yourself. Be the
Yeah.
unseen.
Just don't you know what? And I've heard of people that like whatever I wake up with, or whatever I wake up feeling like, that's what I am for that day. And then that's how the whole fluid thing came to be because people just
non-binary and all that.
didn't know what the fuck to do with that. And then you were like binary, and it's like binary.
But that would be so confusing. Like if you went based on what you wanted to be that day, I guess the only way that you would be able to live in that world is if you were to announce it to everybody that you met on the day that you were feeling that way, right?
Yeah. Or you just wore a shirt that said it.
That's great. I'm terrible at fashion, so that speaks to me. Instructions on a shirt. I can do that.
So a little off the path. We kind of got a side
Yeah,
note
wow.
tips, but that I can bring it back. I can bring it the fuck back.
Do
So
that because I'm lost. I'm out in the backyard, like fucking wandering around.
yeah, I've had a few relationships. Honestly, far less than my ego brain thought I would.
Oh, yeah.
Far,
But
like
you're also very to yourself.
like to the point that when people used to ask me what did I think I will be doing in life, I,
Balls deep. What?
yeah, not no, I told them I I was looking into being a gigolo. Straight face,
It's Dolomite right
yeah,
here.
because I was like, that sounds fan fucking tastic.
Shout out
Being
to the original Dolomite.
so, but then that's ego talking. Reality wise, it just became a thing that I thought it was kind of. And this is me saying this. This is me saying this. The guy that's been told I have the voice of Valium. Yeah, literally was told that by
You have the voice of what?
a tech support. She was like, I could talk to you all morning. It's like, really? It's like, yeah, your voice is like Valium. It's like, okay, cool.
Wow, you're like creepy. Hey, guess what? My computer's fixed. Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a throat tattoo. Says that.
Regrets. RAGRE.
Yeah, right. But I thought it was vulgar. I thought it was really, really vulgar.
Oh, are you a prude?
The high school scene, going through different chicks and then treating women certain ways where like
Right.
she fucked all these guys. She's a hoe. Um, she's easy. But dudes were they were applauded for it.
Right.
Like yeah, you you fucked her and her.
I
Oh
never understood that because if a guy where I
yeah,
came from and traditionally, when a guy does that, they're like a stud, right? They're
yeah,
not a hoe. But when a
yeah,
woman does it, they're a hoe.
yeah. They
So,
get the name stud.
but you
Yeah.
know what's fucked up about that is that okay, if the woman is a hoe, then why are you knocking at her door? Because that's what you're doing.
Well, right. I think it's like you're a stud, but you're hitting all the easy targets. So, I mean, she's down for a fuck. So it's not like you really have to work at it.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if somebody's down to fuck, that's the truth of it. there's,
I guess. Right.
there's no definition of that relationship other than that. We are two people that are down to fuck. And
That's a very good point.
thank you, police coming in. And now how you take it.
I'll see you
Yeah,
next week.
yeah, no, yes, and yes, that was double entendre I was trying to avoid earlier. But yeah, it's like now if the guy takes that and he goes off, it's like, yeah, I just fucked Sally. Oh, that's awesome. It just happened to be that Sally's down to fuck. And guess what? All those dudes that you're telling that you fucked Sally, they did too. So what? Is that bad for Sally? I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. But for me, I was always wanting to know the person, have time with the person, sit
Right.
down, talk to them. And it wasn't necessarily being a prude because, again, in my head, ego wise, I was,
Fucking
I,
the
I,
man.
yeah, I was Prince's illegitimate son in my head. Uh, so it wasn't anything like that. But at the same time, I don't know if that was like fucked up upbringing because I was always going to church or whatever.
Oh
So
yeah.
never really had this whole birds and the bees talk. My here's You want to know what the birds and bees talk was?
Oh God.
Here's it. Yeah, literally. Here
Okay.
it is. Here it
Oh
is.
God.
My dad told me straight as shit. This is word for word how long that son bitch lasted. Listen, if you lay with a woman, you're going to have a baby. And we ain't taking care of that. So if you lay with a woman, you're going to have to move out and take care of the baby on your own.
You know what you should do?
I just want you to know that. And okay, that's all we need to say. Okay. All right.
I respect it. I respect it.
No, you don't. No, you
Yes, I do, because here's the thing in. You can say, well, Dad told me this one time and I just went and laid with a woman, so I got to go.
No, you fucking don't. Because you know how much is deleted, redacted, plain the fuck left out of that?
Oh, for sure.
How let me sleep on the floor because if I lay with you, we're gonna wake up with a baby. No kind of info into sex, into
Right, because you weren't taught any of that.
It was just the mere fact of laying next to a woman.
Right.
Osmosis babies come out.
That is fucked up.
Now you're with me. So now
I didn't think about it that way. That's a change of perspective. My brain didn't go there.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's cool. Right to the point. Yeah. No, that's fucked. Because now you believe in osmosis babies.
Right.
Now you're like, I'm not going to lay next to the chick on the beach because we're going to have a baby right here on the beach.
Oh my God.
Wake up and there's a baby.
Did you know, did y'all study about how long a pregnancy lasts and how it all?
Yeah, later on when you got into school. Yeah, later on. Later on, I forget what grade that was, but starting off, no. So for me, it was just all these kind of mixed fuckeries that was going on in my head. Examples of people in my life of like, okay, this is what a marriage and this is what a relationship's supposed to be. And so for me, all my friends were the opposite of what my parents were projecting. So everything was for me, everything was learned on the fly. So when I had friends that were way more promiscuous than I was, it was just like, oh, okay, that's what it's all about. But I didn't like how they just kind of dogged them out, trashed them out. Okay, she's my girlfriend for about 2-3 months, and then boop, not my girlfriend.
Right.
So I guess bringing that into adulthood, I just became really more not romantic, but just more wanting to know who the fuck I was with.
I'm going to say thoughtful, perhaps.
Man, I guess that's how it comes across, or is a more relative way of saying it. It just really was one of those things that it just worked out that way. Like I'm not going to introduce you to my parents. I'm not going to introduce you to any family member really, until I'm comfortable enough with you, and you're comfortable enough in us to want to. Um, interact and be a part of things in that regards to the relationship. I've 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 been involved with certain people that my parents and other family have never seen, didn't know about, and it just happened to be, just didn't make it that far.
Sure.
The relationship just didn't make it that far. I have always been. Now, if you have been listening to us quite a ways back, you will know that my preferences in a relationship has now changed quite a bit from when I started, but stick with me. So yeah, I've always been completely open in regards to ethnicities, even since elementary school, as far back as I can recall. There's been never have been sexually attracted to men or males, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Right.
in a relationship kind of way, but you look at some guy and it's like, oh, okay,
He's decent looking.
yeah, he's fucking hot. Okay, he's yeah.
See, sometimes I'll say that. I'll be like, that's a handsome guy. That
Right.
doesn't mean I want to be with him.
Yeah, that's just stating the fact. It's like I always tell people, we are straight up, no matter how much you want to paint it, no matter how much you want to say, oh yeah, I want to go. We're visual people. We are absolutely visual people. Now, online shit has now tested that statement quite a lot. But in the end, when you see someone that weighs a lot, it still weighs a good bit. So yeah, if you see
You mean
somebody,
like physical aesthetics?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, even if you see somebody that is of the same gender as you and they're hot, then they're hot. But it doesn't mean you're gonna figure out how to.
Right, they're on a kill list or something.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that you're gonna figure out how to fuck them. But some people, that's all they're about. And like, I want to fuck everybody that I see that's the hottest as possible. I feel like, have I, to me, everyone that I've been in a relationship with has been hot, like super hot in some way or another. I'm very much into intellect as well.
Yes.
So if you are physically hot, but still use big block letters to write your name out,
probably not working out.
Yeah, probably only gonna have coffee. So let's just be straight up.
Like, I'll give you a crossword puzzle, you'll be good to go.
But if you are physically hot and you're in a
brain.
You're in a back and forth conversation with me after we watch a movie, then yeah, and it's not a dumb movie, not a
right. It's a thought-provoking movie.
Yeah, Upstream Color maybe, or if we happen to be watching something like Upstream Color, yeah. If we're watching that and you're just like, oh, okay, well, what about this? Then I'm like, holy shit, what? Yeah, we're having a conversation then. If we are watching Primer, fuck yes, we're gonna
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey, that's okay. Look them up. They're good. Shane Cruz is Jesus behind the camera. I don't care what anybody says. Any case, I've been around a lot of super hot chicks that I just can't stand. It's just they're just become super annoying.
Yeah.
But now
I've had some winners. I've had some, like, they were totally winning, like, physically.
Yeah, here you have this word struggle to get that out.
Like, maybe the flagpole didn't go all the way to the top. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Like, you were still counting ballots before you actually.
If you can't, I love to write.
Yeah.
I love to. Grammar is the thing for me. I'm not like one of those people that are like, you forgot the whatever. But if you can't spell like basic words,
not a semicolon here. Fuck you. I'm gonna put a semicolon in everything now.
Right. I mean,
yeah, I
have a brain. Be able to speak your truth and have your convictions and be able to, explain.
Isn't the opposite though kind of like I was in a relationship once, and they told me like I like games. I like I like video games. I'm a gamer. I love that. And you're like, oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah, great. And you got this commonality thing. You ever come across that opposite where you find that you're like, oh, not that much shit. Like all the time. Like you didn't know. You didn't know just how much. Like your like was a different degree than their like.
Right. Like, okay, so take for instance that you both like Star Trek, but the difference is that you watch Star Trek occasionally, and she will only watch Star Trek, and that is all, and it's always
Yeah,
on her TV all the time.
yeah, yeah. I like Star Trek, but you got the prosthetic ears to be. You got prosthetics put on
You
your ears
went and had it done.
to be Vulcan. Got
Yeah.
it. That's a little. Yeah, there's that. Like, oh, I like it. I like it too. Oh, awesome. We should watch it. Yeah, well, you got Khan. Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that was so good. So good. Oh
You
yeah,
know what?
so
You know what's
amazing.
better though is whenever they say they like it, and then they're trying to keep up, but they can't.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
"Oh, no, this is my
Agree,
this
right?
band is my favorite. I love this band so much." "Yeah, me too. They're the best." Um,
Mhm.
and then you're asking them about songs and stuff, and, "What's your favorite song?" And they're like, "Oh, the one with the"
Yeah, it's the only one that plays in the bar. Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So there's that degrees of like where I like this, and then you can find yourself on the same level, or that person's like is really fuck you. That's obsessed, bitch. You
Right.
and then there's the like that's just surface level. It's under you. The surface level is like you're just wanting, like this person is saying they like it um just to you know just to snag you, really, just to come across as
Impress
being,
you or,
yeah, come
you
across as
know,
being interesting. Yeah,
ruffle their tail feathers.
I know of a couple that the chick did that with all of what this guy was into. She wasn't into football. She played around.
That's pretty much every woman. Never
She
mind.
played like she was. She wasn't into cars. She played like she was. Since sound systems and all the stuff that this dude was into, she pretended that she
Oh,
was.
what a miserable existence.
Yeah. It didn't work out. I mean, that's abundantly clear. But in any case, um, I've not. I've only had, um, of the people that I've been in a relationship with, I've only had very few that I really had a long term relationship with, and to the point that I would bring them around family or do things with them that I've never done with other people or only have done with few people,
Sure.
travel and whatnot. Those are always those are always difficult. I'll just say that, in varying
Well, and
degrees.
you're so guarded, you
Yeah,
know?
so me, it's one of those things where
I mean, I'm a lesbian. Shit, after one day, we're having a U-Haul party. So,
once, yeah, but for me, once I have you over for Thanksgiving or something like that, then it's kind of like, fuck, to, I need to have some time to myself if we break up, because now I'm just like, oh, why did I introduce you to people?
right.
Why did why did we go on this trip or travel or go here or there, or why did we do all of these things? And now, now next Thanksgiving, oh, where's blah blah blah? I don't know.
Right.
Y'all don't talk. Why would we? You know what I'm
Bitch is dead to me.
Yeah, but for me, come on. It's like, what? Oh, hey, what's going on? Oh, not much. What's that? Oh, yeah. So, you're dating somebody else now? Awesome. 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 Okay. Yeah. Cool. Me? No, nobody yet. No, because I'm still thinking about what the fuck happened with us. But other than that, great. Yeah. I guess um, I guess it's a lot of that. I, just being honest about it myself, I think that there's a lot of that going on. Plus, eventually you get to the point like, hey, if you write that list, some of that stuff that I wrote down, and I'll just talk about me. Some of the stuff I wrote down in my list was not even some, turned out to be a lot more than some, was subconsciously goal oriented. And it really wasn't something that I was thinking was goal oriented at that time. But
that's how your brain works. You are goal oriented.
Right. So then you get to the point where you start, and I think that's the maturity thing, part of the maturity thing as well, because as you continue trying to achieve goals, you start to realize that, okay, I only want a person that I'm in a relationship with that is able to recognize that, help me with that, appreciate it. So yeah, I'll support it. And
I don't mean support it like here's a check. I mean support it like through ups and downs and
yeah. And so absolutely. And so then you get to start thinking like, okay, why be in a relationship with someone where you know that what you're trying to achieve is going in a completely, literally, physically and mentally different direction than they are. So what's the point? Why even get
Mm-hmm. I'll say this. I was in a relationship with a woman, and I mean we were doing great. We had the house, we had, we were just living life. And I thought that was everything that I ever would need. And I was devastated when it was over because it was very sudden.
Yeah.
But now that I'm with my wife, whenever I met her, I was like, there's something about her. And now I look back and I think, God, is that all that I really thought that I was worth?
Right, like your delusion, like you feel delusion.
Like I was content, maybe and every relationship can get that way, but the amount that my wife supports me, I mean, if I told her that I wanted to be a squirrel farmer, she would be like, what do we need to do?
Yeah. I was like, okay, so how do we start? How do we start a squirrel farm? What city permit do we need?
That's nuts. Do you get it? That's nuts.
Right. No, I totally get that. Like looking back on relationships that I've had, it's like, okay, clearly I thought that was the shit at that time. And I don't know if that's maturity. I don't know, because a lot of people tell me that you haven't changed. Oh, you don't change. I think that for me, people can say that I don't change or I haven't changed because I was even though we talk about the sheltered aspect of it, I very quickly got into a mindset with myself of what I like and what I'm about, what is important to me. And those things were very solid. And nothing was like, kind of like spaghetti. I'll keep using a shot. No, I fucking like that. I'm going to eat that. And I can eat it all day, every day.
I am only watching Star Trek.
Right. Yeah. So, and by the way, everybody, I'm way more into Star Wars. Fuck that. So
I'm not into either one, but my ex-wife was
way more. Like how much more? Blue Harvest, bitches. Blue Harvest. That's how much.
That's impressive.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So okay. Let's get to the we've touched on how we've gravitated throughout time. Here we are at the crux of things, where we are as people on this podcast. And so I don't know who has the most colorful, but you
has the most colorful what?
Relationship.
Oh, that's me. That's totally me. Yeah, absolutely, hands down. I can tell you stories that would make you cringe, but I won't.
I'm just gonna go on surface level. I'm just
Okay.
gonna go surface level of it.
Are you going to ask me questions?
Yeah, about
Ooh, I
to.
love this. Okay, go ahead.
So now you you can go as deep as you want with these.
That's what she said.
I know. So
Sorry.
when we met, you were in a totally different relationship than
Yes,
you
I
are.
was. I was married to my son's dad.
Right. So from then to now, what got you on that? Because I'm just gonna go off of my and as a matter of fact, this is something I've never asked you. So I'm just gonna go
Ooh, go
off
ahead.
assumption. Okay. Into a relationship with a dude, you're doing the thing that you normally do because that's what people normally done, even though you may feel a certain way about things, but you're kind of reflecting the life of what your dad had to go through and then
Right.
there. And at some point, despite other elements of the marriage that was causing the level of shittery that eventually comes into separation and whatnot.
That's a fair word, shittery. I like
Yeah,
that word.
yeah, made it up on the fly as
I like that. I also like nuttery, but
I do with a majority of my life. I think so. To a certain degree, in the background, subconsciously, I would assume, is the fact that there was also an internal struggle with you being a lesbian, trying to do the heterosexual thing.
see, I was doing what I thought that I should do
Right. And
instead
that's
of
what
what I wanted to do.
yeah, right. And there's that whole because you had to tamp that down. There's that whole fear of that coming out or being seen a certain way or whatever the case is that is being translated in your head. But in any case, you had to deny yourself to be what you wanted others to see.
Right.
And eventually it all comes ahead and this is where we are now. How was
Okay,
that?
bitch, I'm out. Glitter. Poof.
Yeah. How I'm sorry. One more time with that.
What?
One more time with that. Go ahead.
I said, that's it, y'all. I'm out, bitches. I'm gay. Glitter. Poof.
Okay.
Like one of those glitter guns.
No,
I wish
no.
that I had one of those.
Not even a glitter gun. I was thinking, you said the gay ninjas out, bitches. And so I thought it was
That's
the
right.
smoke that ninjas
That's
dropped.
right. Gay ninja. That's you. Actually, I misspoke. That was what I was supposed.
I only thought of the smoke bombs that ninjas drop, but it's glitter instead, and it's just it's glitter. So it's not smoke that people are blinded by. It's the fact that there's a copious amount of glitter all over
Yeah.
the place, and you're like, "What the fuck just happened?"
I just live in a world of sparkle. That's all.
It's the gay ninja. It comes out when anybody.
Like rainbow glitter.
It just pops. It just swings off the chandelier, and
It's dripping.
you see it. Actually, the gay ninja can't hide. You see it as soon as it comes out. It's abundantly clear.
Yeah, there's a billion of them. A
Track
billion of them.
track lights, the clicking of heels. You hear it. Right?
Somebody in the back going, work.
Yeah. So in any case, the relationship changed. So in a way that kind of like is everything that we talked about. There's like, in a sense, there's a little bit of a transition that takes place in your place and how that flips with your relationships. How was that? What was that like with you for your relationships and the relationship you're getting out of, the relationships that you went into? Because I'm assuming there was some scary freedom in that. You like you get out of a relationship with a dude, you're feeling freedom because you're owning
Who you
being
are.
a
You're right.
yeah
You're owning who you are.
lesbian, but then you're also that scary freedom. So the freedom part is you're owning who you are a lesbian, you're out of this relationship, you're not going to pretend to be heterosexual, but then it's also that scary part where you're a babe in the woods trying to figure out, okay, how do I navigate?
Just a wee little lesbian.
Yeah, how do you navigate relationships now as a lesbian? So what was that all like?
For me, I'm all about winging it.
And in the background, holidays and whatnot.
Oh, fun. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's talk about the really fun one. Okay. So when I go over to the girlfriend's parents' house,
yeah,
how awkward is that?
yeah.
Because they're like
So wait, so when you're
tried
going,
and true Texan Southern
yeah,
Bible
yeah,
Belt. I mean,
but little context. So when you're going to a girlfriend's house, is she, and if I sound abrasive with it, I just don't know the lingo in order to finesse it. Is she fully out, or is she almost sort of like using you as a definitive coming out moment in front of their family? You know what I'm saying?
both.
You've been in both. Okay, you've been in both
No. Both
situations.
with the same person. So I think that it was easier for her to fully come out because we were in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as using me to come out, yeah, for sure. I mean, it was definitely it had to be the rip the band-aid off, right?
Yeah,
With her parents. It had to be that way. It wasn't like, hey, I think I might be, blah, 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 whatever. And there was always
well, one night of Bible study will change that, dear.
right. Or, man, this is just a phase. I think that you don't know what you want. You're young, blah, 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 whatever. And that might have been the case. I mean, given where she's at now. But
yeah. I think, do you feel like that was kind of belligerent? Like at one point in discussion, you're like, let's do it. Almost like let's rub our pussies in their faces. They're gonna
I was just chilling because that's how I'm just kind of laid back and just kind of go with it, right? And nice to everyone, I mean, I don't give people a reason to not like me. And
not vulgar in the sense of it. I mean belligerent and like there's bold and there's belligerent.
Like we're gonna go show them.
Right.
I think that maybe the girlfriend was because she wanted to prove to her parents that she was making the right decision at the time for herself.
Right.
But they never really fully accepted. I mean,
it's almost one of those things like you come in there and you're like, you're gonna stand. We're gonna, you feel empowered because
we're
you're
united. We're standing together. Nothing can
standing together. But at the same time, it gets kind of belligerent because you're not discussing it as much as you are shoving it down their throats and not caring, not wanting to know what are they thinking, what are they feeling, what questions do they have.
No, they didn't have questions because it was all about avoidance.
Well, right. And now, that's the other side of it. If you don't have somebody that's receptive like that, then none of that's going to happen anyway. It's just going to be
right. That's what it goes back to what I said earlier, that I didn't know that I was worth more than that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that a true partner in life has your back, regardless of whether you're you're gay or you're not, or you make a mistake or you don't, or,
No, absolutely. I think,
and to be able to stand up to, like, for instance, if my family didn't like Laura, okay, fuck them. I don't care. I mean,
so
not that but I would be like, look, here's the thing. You might not like her, but you're not going to disrespect her, especially not in my house.
Yeah. So
and if you are going to disrespect her, don't do it around me.
No, absolutely. And that's great. I think
but that I wasn't afforded that.
Yeah, I think, but then also I think that's part of the transition from the beginning to now. Being it sounds so peripheral, being a lesbian now, and how do you look at? No, it's not about that. It's more because a relationship is a relationship is a relationship. You could have the same kind of belligerency in a heterosexual relationship, and it could be because this person is of a different ethnicity, and you can have some of the same awkwardness, the same "we're not going to stand for it" kind of thing that comes from family and others. In regards
Well, I
to,
mean, to your point, a lot of times we see it in teenagers. When the girl brings home the bad boy image and the dad's like, "No, this isn't happening," and she's like, "Yes, it is."
well, right, yeah, and that's all. That's then when you go into the and sure, that might have been a little bit of that in the background of the situations you were describing too, where you have that rebellion. I'm going to stand no matter what, and you guys, because you're empowered now, right?
Right.
Okay, yeah. Well, you guys don't want me. Well, I have somebody that does want me. Nah, it's like
Right.
okay,
Exactly.
great. And then everybody slicks their hair back with a comb, and then it's knife fights or whatever. I don't know who the fuck.
It's that damn ninja glitter again.
Right, right. I think so. I can't. It's interesting to me because now, what did you said I was like, what? Where am I on the spectrum of the, oh yeah, I'm an ampersand.
Ampersand, yeah.
Being an ampersand now, I feel like things have gotten to the point where me being an ampersand is a little bit different.
Well, it is, of course, we're always evolving.
But the same. But it's the same because it's a whole different type of what makes it different and difficult at the same time when you're introducing the parents or doing the holiday thing is that you have to fucking deal with everyone else's assumptions, perspectives, and opinions. And when you're in a relationship with that person, you only have that person.
Right, to fuck everybody else.
Yeah. So
if you have to.
Right. So when you're off, if you're off in whatever love bungalow that you happen to be with the person that your partner with, that's all that matters, right? You're in a dungeon and that person has a gag ball in their mouth. Okay, fine. This is a gag ball of love.
Yes.
I mean, but that's the thing. You give into that. You are submissive, or whatever it is. But the two of you are doing that, and that's your thing, and that's your acceptance, and that's how you relate. Neither one of you have to come to Thanksgiving twirling the fucking gag ball around on your finger, going, "Man, this is how we are. This is what we do, and this is, it's a." I think that's the belligerent part. I think that there's also certain aspects of a relationship that speaking for myself, I don't involve other people in. I don't, I'm in a relationship with this chick. What our kink is, none of your concern.
I was going to say, don't tell me. I don't need to.
Yeah, I mean, it's none of but it's none of your concern, especially one from the other. I mean, honestly, one partner's kink is different than the other. And that's been the case for me. Not unless I am like specifically finding that works just for me. Yeah. I never really did that. And so
are you reaching out to the right support groups? Because I mean, if you're into chickens, then you can
learn about support groups from you, ma'am. So that's okay. Nobody. Again,
my wife is a therapist. She has good resources.
I'm a product of if you lay with a woman, you're gonna have.
Okay, Daddy.
About this support group thing, okay? So, I think that. I mean, you got to take under consideration that I would bring chicks around, and my family would go, "That's a lot of earrings." So, just consideration.
She's wearing white after Labor Day. What the heck?
Yeah, just take into consideration. I elected not to include them into only so many, into only surface level of the relationship of any relationship that I was in, if I introduced them to that person alone. So yeah, I can totally relate in that regard with the awkwardness of it. But for you, I thought it was
Well,
very good.
there was a lot of passive aggressive behavior,
Hmm.
especially from the mom.
Hmm.
Um, so, and it was uncomfortable and probably unnecessary.
But now,
Um,
and sorry, I didn't mean to
but
really
it could
cut.
be it could have been rectified. I mean,
Yeah,
she could
sure.
have stood up for me and said, "Listen, don't treat her that way. I don't
Yeah.
appreciate this. This is somebody that I love and I'm going to be with, and you're going to have to deal with it or not. And if you don't want to, then okay, well, we'll see you later."
And so now, um,
And now I have that.
right. I was gonna say now being married and everything, it's now really one of those things was like, this is so much better. This is what I've been striving for all this time.
Right.
And I got a lot of turnips. Um, so yeah, I think that I'm again super happy for you. And so I'm glad that and
Thanks. You too.
I'm super jealous and I hope to achieve in some capacity, uh, you know, something that reflects what you have. Um, I just haven't yet, and that's just how it is. I think that with my new Amberson discovery, I feel like it would be.
Hashtag there is hope.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad you fill that in because you knew what I was about to say next. I feel like it's going to be a little bit more difficult now. But
Nah, there's
I
websites
think,
for that.
yeah, I know you keep saying that, but I think that, and this might be a little presumptuous of me, but I feel like it's sort of what I was saying earlier, that babe in the woods kind of thing, where you just don't know. You're kind of apprehensive about it because you haven't looked at relationship levels like that,
Well,
and
you don't know what you don't know, right?
yeah, and not knowing how to. Okay, how do now that I know, like now that I know this about myself, how do I proceed with that in a relationship that I'm really wanting? And so for me, in all of my relationships, I've never it was my last one that I discovered my ambersandness. And I think that I guess that's why it sucks because I feel like kind of like what you were talking about a little bit earlier. It's like I feel like that was the relationship that I could be the most ampersand about in. And
I love
now
this so much.
you like that? I love it too.
Yeah.
But now I'm having to figure that out on my own. And um, it is what it is. I think that for me though, I have now all my goals that I'm really trying to achieve. So it's sort of this whole thing of like how do you proceed with a relationship that you want while kind of making this silent vow to yourself, which I'm now going to say aloud, that I don't want to be in another relationship until I'm really, really standing strong in my goals.
You just wing it. And it's kind of the same mentality of I
You
don't
don't
want to
want
have a
to be the wing it though. Yeah, yeah.
but here's the thing. I mean, think about it this way. When you say, like, say for instance, that you know that you want kids, you just don't you know that right now is not the time. It's just not
So,
the time. And
so
one day I will be ready, but I'm not
yes,
ready now. And then all of a sudden, hey, guess what? You're a daddy. And then you
yeah.
just you figure it out.
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm Tony Randall, 72 with a kid. Yeah, it's crazy.
Get
Right?
it?
Jesus. Um, yeah, I know you'll figure it out. I get that. I think that I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
that
if you put yourself out there, you'll have to figure it out. You know what I mean?
God, that was right up there with saying if you get high enough booty shorts, you'll have to figure it out. It's like what? Oh, but I'm, I'm being facetious. Yeah, Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I also think that, once you find your people, if you know what I mean,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a lot easier for you to cope
Mm-hmm.
with exactly what you want.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's safety in numbers, right?
Yeah, that's a way of saying it. I totally agree. I think that, once you get to the point where you're out there with people that are going through the same thing, like-minded and such with relationships and whatnot, and how they are wanting to have them in their lives, then it becomes a little bit easier because then you can express some of the same apprehensions or desires, thoughts, concerns as of
And
other
share
people.
perspectives, which is
Right.
going to help, wrap your head around some of the things that you have going on, on your
Right.
mind.
Absolutely. I think you're absolutely right.
So, and
So
there's always usually there's usually more than one way to do something, you
yeah,
know, or one way to think about something.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
you might not have thought about it yet because you just hadn't thought about it, and that's okay.
Yeah, you're right. It could be very well something right there in my face. I haven't really thought about it, and then once it's mentioned, I'm like, oh yeah, why didn't I fucking
Don't you hate
that's
that? You're like, that's genius. Why didn't I think about that? I'm pretty fucking smart,
right.
you know?
Yeah, because then you're like, God, man, now I wasted all this time, and I could have been with this person, or I could have been doing this thing, or I could have been, you know, whatever. I could have been.
But it
I,
all happens for a reason, I mean, I could say the same thing after the girlfriend and I split up, what I wasted time, I
Mhm,
I wasted time not believing that I was enough to stand
mhm,
up for
mhm.
or whatever. And I
Absolutely.
kind of just took it and I shouldn't why? But I didn't know that because hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, I mean, but you were trying to digest a lot. You were
That's a fair statement.
really trying. 'Cause honestly, you're coming out of a relationship from before where you're married with a dude, and you're thinking, okay, I've come to my into my own. I know that I'm in the relationship that I wanted. And you're talking yourself up, and then that balloon deflates, and you're like, what?
Well, I mean, the balloon almost bursted. I mean, throwing a baby, you complicate things a lot. And then, that's the baby
No,
didn't happen, by the way, obviously.
yeah, no. I think there's just a lot happening, and when you get to the point that things start to devolve in some sort of way, you can't help but start questioning yourself. Like, okay, what
Sure.
what am I doing? Why did I do that? Who am I with? What am I? Is this what I want? Wait, why? I don't. I don't want to go to this function anymore. Why did we?
Oh my God. I have something to tell you.
Mm-hmm,
Exactly what you just said.
mm-hmm,
That was my ex-husband.
mm-hmm,
So I told you I tried really hard to be straight, right?
mm-hmm.
I was married to 2 men, not at the same time. So Jason was my high school sweetheart.
I love that asterisk. Not
Hey, listen, we don't know. There could be people in Utah listening.
well,
Um, and I was going through the motions. People would say, "Oh, you've graduated high school. When are you gonna get married?" Then we got married, and then they were like, "Oh, hey, you're married. When are you gonna get a house?" So I got a house, and then they're like, "Oh, hey, when are you gonna start a family?" And then we tried to start a family, and it didn't work. So then we started the fertility treatments,
mm-hmm,
and that didn't work.
mm-hmm.
And then at some point, I was on 4 times the normal dosage of fertility meds, and
Okay, no,
nothing was happening other than me being a complete fucking train wreck because had hormones all in me.
no, that,
Um, I mean, and
yeah.
you've seen me on a good day, that's kinda questionable. So, I was, like, fucking out of my brain,
Oh, I bet.
and then I finally just kinda woke up one day and I was like, "What am I doing? Like, who am I doing this for?
Yeah, right.
Am I doing this because I want this?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm doing it because I think that that's what's expected of me." And I'm a
Right. Yeah.
rule follower usually. I mean, I'm not afraid of the penalty box, but, whenever it comes to to life things, I I'm I'm not I try not to be reckless.
Mm-hmm. No,
Um,
I get that. I think that that's something that's the thing that's in the back of a lot of people's heads. Like, okay, what's my next move? Why am I doing it? When you
yeah,
start,
once I asked that question because we weren't getting pregnant. And I
right?
was like, I mean, I remember being on my knees praying, crying, please God, there are people that are throwing kids in dumpsters and I can take care of a baby and I want one. So
Yeah.
can't why can't I have a baby? And then it's like something in me snapped and I was like, maybe you're not supposed to be doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really started to think, well, why did I buy this house? Well, why did
Mm-hmm.
I get married? Well, there was so much influence and I was just rolling with the punches. And looking back now, I know that it was all about self-worth. I didn't think that I was capable of making the decisions that I wanted to on my own.
It's just a bit like a big visor just got lifted, and you were
Yeah.
just, why? What? I don't even like brand cereal. What the fuck?
Right. I mean, I was living in like Podunk, Texas,
Yeah.
and I'm sold the house and I went to Europe. While I was in Europe, the house sold. And then I came back and moved my shit to uptown Dallas.
That just sounds like really, really swanky, so I can't feel sorry for you. But it's like,
Fair.
I had a house, and then I was in Europe, and then I was like, that's the only thing that was missing is like some 1920s, like exaggerated. I decided, damn, uptown Dallas. Which for me is that impression that I just
Listen, I
did.
was on the edge of uptown, okay? Because listen, I could open up my patio door and hear mariachi bands playing. And this wasn't like at an event. This was in somebody's fucking front yard. Okay.
Clean it up. You're like, I was on the edge. I was on the outskirts.
I was the outskirts. What are you talking about?
Shit. Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying though. I really, really do. I think that it's a lot. And that's why we wanted to do this in parts, because it's a lot. Relationships is a hard fucking it's a hard it's a hard fucking
It's hard to do.
existence. It's like it's really because you can be clicking with someone and roll over the next morning
Fucking shit had happened to me.
and be just like, I I, I just want to
Who
be in a
are you?
I just want to be I just want to be in a bed by myself right now. Why the fuck? Okay. Okay. And that's like one thing. And that one thing, then something else happens. And it's this one thing. Very, very little. Very, very in that moment. But they stick and they just add together, add together, add together. And then it's a big thing. And then it's like,
Right.
I can't even stand you're annoying now. You're annoying. And then like you just said, why are you
And that is how I got divorced from my second husband.
It's like, why are you annoying me now? Why do I not like this? Why am I here? Why? It's just a bunch of whys.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
So
okay.
one day, kids, I'll have to tell you all about the crazy bee that I was with after the girlfriend. The
No,
girlfriend after the girlfriend.
no, that's part 4. So, so, so
That
we're
one
gonna
is a hot mess. Y'all need
we're gonna finish up
to
part 3.
repair.
We gave you a bonus rent. We gave you that's right. I said bonus. We gave you a bonus.
Bonus.
That was the fucking that ninja just hit me.
What in the white trash hell happened?
Yeah, I sucked up some glitter in my throat. Yeah, it was a U for sperm. So, uh,
So
yeah,
there is going to be a part 4.
yeah. So part 4 is about the stuff that I kind of alluded to, didn't really say in this one, and that you kind of alluded to just now, didn't really say. It's when your relationships with someone, romantic or otherwise, by otherwise I mean you were never in a romantic relationship with them. It's a very, very hard, unrequited love kind of thing.
Well, it could
So
be a fuck ship,
yeah, exactly.
like,
So
and how a fuck ship ends because she gets fucked up.
that's what in the next part for the ender. we're gonna
We're
end.
gonna call it the ender of the
We're
end. It's
gonna,
it's the
end
podcast
the,
with the end of the relationship, right?
we're gonna end the relationship series on
Ending the relationship.
the relationships that are the most fucked up we've ever been in.
Oh man.
I have some where um, police were involved. I have some where
Well,
yeah, I've had
I'm not that colorful.
I've had I've had three stalkers.
Dude,
So,
it must be that what's it called? The Valium voice.
yeah. So oh, wait. So this is a good segue into that. This is a good segue into that. I didn't ask you this earlier.
Okay, go on.
Have you? Okay. Man. Wow.
You
So
can ask me anything, just be prepared for the truth.
yeah. I never have. I'll start by taking the slice myself. I never have, but I have been cheated on.
Oh, I've been cheated on and I have cheated.
Okay.
And it's a shitty thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was young, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I just, and then the last, yeah, no.
No, like you don't have to go into details on anything. You get answers on the surface. Yes, yes. Okay, cool. Because I'm not going to dig. I'm not going to dig on it because I know that during that time, during the time of which you were cheating or being cheated on, that's what it was during that time. And
Right.
that's not how or who you are now. It's just
Right.
that's how things were at that time. And so I was just wanting to know because that that's a that's a that's an interesting catalyst in relationships, especially if that's not a part of the relationship because it's cheating. Cheating is cheating when it's cheating is cheating by definition when the other person doesn't know you're doing it. But
Right.
other people that do know that you're doing it don't consider it cheating because it's a part of what their relationship is about. And so finding somebody that's into that, which now is considered an open relationship,
Right.
then that's what you have to do. But if you get with someone that isn't into an open relationship, then it immediately gets categorized as cheating. The interesting part though is when you're with someone that's like you said a little bit earlier, just doing it to be more appealing. So they're into being in an open relationship, but then they get tired of being in an open relationship, or they feel like all you want to do is be more open than relationship. And by relationship, I mean solely with them, and
Right.
they can't stand that openness anymore. They used to, but now they can't. So then that's where things get a little crazy because you might still be into being in an open relationship, and then they don't want it anymore.
Right.
That's something that can
Like they caught feelings, but you weren't throwing them. You know what I mean?
well, they just don't want to.
Share
For
you.
yeah, I was going to say, for lack of a better term, they just don't want to share anymore. They don't want you out with someone else because maybe they're catching on that you're out with the same person a lot. You know, maybe they're okay if you're out with different people, but if you're out with the same person a lot, maybe then it's like, okay, I guess you don't want me because you clearly want them. But
Yeah.
it's not into that open relationship thing. And getting, some people with open relationships need to have permission from that person that they're,
Right.
then they're in the know. But if you're not into that, then it immediately becomes cheating. I was cheated on, and
That sucks. But you've never cheated.
I was cheated on. It was one of the things where it's like And I guess also, let me go ahead and define this. I feel like there's some people that really get into the emotional cheating.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, especially for lesbians. Hello.
I think because then it's like the emotional cheating and the work relationships and work cheating. I define cheating when you are in a relationship with someone and maybe fucking is involved, but you're really committed to being with that person.
Invested.
Yeah, it's not just infatuation. It's not just, hey, I got you an extra coffee. It's you are okay. I'm coming over to your house, and
Or not. I mean, you might not be in a position where they can come over to your house. I don't know that it has to do with.
yeah. Or house was just one thing. Or I'm meeting you at this specific place, and we're gonna fuck in your car or whatever.
Or we're just going to hang out and hold each other or whatever. That's still cheating too. It's.
Yeah. I think that I don't know. I just really feel like the definition of cheating can get kind of convenient for someone when it's a good thing to throw out there in the relationship. I was cheated on. I can say I was cheated on because they actually had a person staying with them and flying out and being with them in their apartment, unbeknownst to me.
Wow.
And I didn't find out until like the second or third time the person was out there.
So as someone who's been cheated on, that sucks. And I'm sorry they had to go through that. And as somebody that has done the cheating, also, that sucks. And I'm sorry you had to go through that.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things where it becomes a interesting issue deal. And again, gets you back into the feelings and the question marks that we talked about before. But that is a good segue into part 4, where we go into the amazing insanity of what happens when
bitches lose their shit. I mean, breakups or whatever.
In the relationship, it's its expiration date,
and it turns into a relationship.
Yes, relationship is exactly the word I was about to say.
I made that up on the fly, so you know.
Oh, I've been using it for a while. Yeah, I've been using relationship for a good bit.
Sorry, I didn't know.
Yeah, no, I was about
to get patent coming. Is that copyright coming?
It was good because I was about to throw it in as a relation to food poisoning. So what I was saying is like the relationship hits its expiration date, but you don't see it, and you're still partaking it, and it's spoiled. It's not good.
Yes, that's a very good term. Spoiled.
You get some food poisoning. You get some relationship poisoning from that, and then you get to relationships, and that's where it gets really bad because that stuff doesn't wipe off really well.
No, it doesn't. And the longer it stays there, the worse it is.
It's so bad. It stinks.
It's going to be so ugly and terrible the next podcast, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, and especially when like other people like, hey, what happened to her? And like, oh fuck.
You need to go listen to episode 14 and know about it.
Oh my god, she just went fucking
bonkers.
Yeah, like, could you feel how deep my lip went?
I saw your eyes rolling from here.
Fucking crazy. And
I can't wait to hear all about it.
Yeah, they're never your friends. They're always getting all the popcorn.
Right? Oh, tell me, that's terrible, dude.
Oh, how drunk Dr. Seuss. So
remember at the beginning of the episode, whenever we were like, we're just going to break it down into hour portions.
we were gone. We were gone last week, so you get a bonus.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't a good time for me. I was doing Christmas.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and kill it.
And by Christmas, I was doing fucking nothing.
Yeah. Well,
with my wife, and I'm totally fine with that. But I just wanted to be alone.
That's what it matters. That's what matters. Being with whoever you want to be with, doing the most or the least, but it's whatever it is that is right for the 2, 3, 4 ampersand of you. So
okay, so same bat time, same bat channel, and next week we're going to be talking about train wrecks. Okay.
Yes, all relationships start to finish.
Relationships.
Yeah, so that's the title of the last episode. Actually,
yeah, I think that's
some written down somewhere where I was like, okay, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk about this, and then the next one, part 4, is relationships. Got it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is going to be this is where we ended. Hope that as we rambled, it was in some sort of way that helped somebody, at least to let them know they're not alone in how they're thinking, how they're feeling, or what they're wanting to do. If you're at the point where where you're questioning your sexuality or your gender, and you're trying to figure out, okay, wow, they just talked about how they went from a heterosexual relationship now into a lesbian relationship. That's what I needed to hear, because I'm trying to figure that out myself. We hope in some way, somehow, it helps you, and that the gay ninja comes your way and helps you through it.
Gay ninja with the rainbow sludge.
Yeah, we've got to do something with gay ninja. But in any case, that's what it all matters. We hope we help somebody in some sort of way. We hope that in helping people, real facts, that we get 18 more motherfuckers listening, so we can get going. Just need 18. Get me all hooked up to the podcast. Put it on the Roku. I've seen the people that have listened to us are doing it on a Roku now. That's amazing.
Okay. So, hold on. I have something to say, and before we get off, two things. Okay. So, first thing is, I don't care who you love.
Okay.
I don't care who you don't love. Just don't be a shitty human being. Just be a decent fucking person.
Yeah. That matters. That's what matters. Yeah.
And the second thing is, of course, as soon as you said it, Gay Ninja, I did a search, and I found something, and it says, "Why did Jesus make me gay?"
No.
And it's a game. It's a game that you can play.
Nope.
And these are cards, and they're like, it's not good, but there's a gay ninja on here, and there's a couple of them, and they're awesome. So I'll have to send you this website over, and you can take a quick look at this, because this is for scrapbooking.
And I just had flashbacks to Peter Pan guy. So
okay, well, you're gonna love the shit out of this, and actually, I want you to take a look at it.
Okay. Definitely.
Because this is great. I like this a lot.
You just want me to take a look at it, so you're not the only one scarred on the planet. So, in any case,
and be sure to scroll.
Yeah, of course.
Get all up in there. Okay, it's in your inbox.
So thank you all for listening again. We are just rambling and bumbling through the podcast as we, picked up on. It was the dinosaur's idea of doing it, because she was like, we should do a podcast. And I was like, I don't know if we could fucking pull that off. And
we're barely pulling it off, to be honest.
We should do a podcast. It said it again. We should do a podcast. I don't know if we should pull it. No, we'll be great.
It'll be fun. I think we do better when it's not planned.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's got to be. It's got to be. We've done a couple planned, and I feel like it's so like we're not okay. Now we got to talk about this.
We're awkward about it.
Yeah. It feels like we
does.
sound awesome, but it feels awkward.
It does. It feels really not in that special way.
It's just very formulaic after that. But I feel like if it's just down to, then you ask me a third time, you know what? We should do a podcast. Like I fucking forgot. We should do a podcast. It's like, all right, you've mentioned that.
You're like, that's a good idea.
I think we're going to be great. Like the first 2 episodes. Well, here we are. What is this? 13 or 14? I don't fucking know. But our way of talking is just as if we're just sitting down talking about this topic, and we might start on a topic and it'll be off to the left or right, whatever the fuck, or up or down. But we get back on it and it all relates. But it's just genuine talking, 2 people talking.
We're just trying to stumble through life
the best we can without losing a limb. So that being said, thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed this bonus round podcast.
And then you're going to get the bonus round next week.
Next, it's going to be the end of the relationship series with part 4 relationships, where we talk about all the lingering relationship scars that probably we feel like they've healed, but they have not. So again, without any more delays, thank you all for listening. She's the dinosaur.
That's me.
I'm the dude. And this is the Dinosaur and the Dude podcast, where we put up a podcast with the shittiest audio, but the most
amazing content.
Thanks again for everybody listening. Thanks again for everybody following us. I guess we got to really figure out Facebook. One social media thing.
That can be my thing.
But I love the interaction that's been going on with Twitter. The interaction with Twitter is pretty reflective to the interaction we've had with people listening. So thanks to those 12 people. And
you're winners. Yeah. You are winners.
And double thanks to all the porn bots that have been following us.
We feel very attractive right now.
Yeah, that's amazing too. Where you're like, oh, Amy Summers followed us. Let me check them out. And like the first photo is just them with their butt spread and
titties.
And just bent over, but just a camera right to the butt with the thong, the little panties going in between, but it's just ass cheeks. It's like, oh, okay, well.
Okay. Well, wow.
Amber Summers gets right to the here's the booty.
That derailed.
Yeah, but thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Yes, booty cheeks. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber Summers, and everybody else is following us.
Get ready for the relationships.
Yeah, get ready for it. Part 4, and we're out. I think that's it. We can go ahead and end it right here, like we normally do.
All right. Later.
Okay, love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for listening. Thanks for giving us your ears. And hopefully you enjoyed our back and forth banter and you'll come back for more. We're going to hopefully we'll have other guests on in the future. But for right now, it's the 2 of us doing what we do best. Again, the Dinosaur and the Dude, hoping you enjoy each and every episode that we bring to you. And again, have a great time. Have a great day, night, evening, wherever you are. And look forward to putting out a new episode for you all to enjoy. All right. Take care.